Boys and girls, this week we are doing our first mighty vowel, E, right? So when we talk about the vowel family, remember we've got 26 letters. 5 of them are vowels, and we have to have at least one in every syllable of a word. Oh my goodness, most words have more than one vowel in them. We've got 21 consonants. So vowels are extra special. They're in every syllable of a word. You can have words with just vowels, but you can't have words with just consonants. They're in every syllable of a word, and they have a superhero power. So when you think of superheroes, they all have some kind of superpower, right? So think of a superhero. Spider-Man, right? He has his superpower with his webs. Spider-Man, yes. Superman, right? He can fly. He has X-ray vision, right? When he looks through his glasses like this. Who else? Iron Man, he's got his suit that he can fly around in. Ant-Man can shrink down to be tiny. So the vowels are superheroes, and here is their power. Only vowels can say their names. Now, we're not going to study this for quite a while. It'll be after Christmas before we start studying this. But I wanted to let you know that is the vowels' superpower, that they can say their names. Now, just like superheroes, you know how superheroes, there's usually something that gets them weak. So Superman is the one I really like to compare with. I hope you know a little bit about Superman. So Superman comes from another planet. And Superman, you know, he's got superhuman strength, plus the X-ray vision, plus the flying, right? So there's something, though, that makes him weak, like even weaker than a regular person. And so for Superman, that's kryptonite. It's the special green kind of rock that's from the planet where he came from. So for Superman, kryptonite means he's weak and he can't use his superpowers. So vowels also have something like kryptonite that makes them not be able to use their superhero power and say their name. So vowels, their kryptonite is consonants. When there are plenty of consonants around, vowels just make their regular sound. So for E, the sound we've been studying this week, eh. So after Christmas, when we get into talking about the vowels and their superpowers a little bit more, we're going to be talking about how consonants make them not be able to use their superpower and say their names. But I wanted you to know there are 2 things that make vowels so special. One is you have to have at least one of the 5 vowels in every word. You can't have a word in English without vowels in it. The other thing is they're the only letters that can say their name in words. All right, let's get right to our work, because the tricky thing that we're starting here today is writing the lowercase letter E. Capital E, no problem. Lowercase letter E, it's not really hard, but we're going to have to go slow because there's some things to remember with it. You kind of have to pay attention to it. So with E, I need you to think, I've already been asking you to think about stuff you know. So I've asked you to think about superheroes. We got that, especially Superman, if you know about Superman and the kryptonite thing. All right, now I need you to think about baseball. So I know some of you guys like to play baseball. Some of you have family members who like to play baseball. Even if you don't like to play baseball, nobody in your family likes to play baseball, you have certainly seen a little bit about baseball, enough to know that there's a ball, and you hold a baseball bat, right? And you try to hit the ball with the bat. And then after you hit the ball with the bat, you have to run around the bases. Now, the thing you may not know that you have to know for lowercase e, when you run around the bases, you have to touch every base. That's the rule in baseball. If you don't touch the base, it doesn't count. So go ahead and hold your pretend baseball bat with me, all right? And let's get ready. Here's the pitcher. He does his wind up. He lets the pitch go. And we're going to swing the bat. Nice, flat, even level swing. Snap those wrists. Yes. Oh, my goodness. Lovely hit. The ball goes way out. So go ahead. Say, hit the ball, and let that ball just keep going. Ready? Swing your bat. Say, hit the ball, and make your ball keep going. Do it one more time. Hit the ball. Make your ball keep going. Now, after you hit the ball, you have to run the bases. Hitting the ball does no good if you don't run the bases. You could hit the ball 5 miles, and if you don't run the bases, it doesn't matter. So hit the ball, and then once you hit it now, you've got to run the bases. So let's do that again. Ready? Hit the ball, even first and second graders. I know you guys think you know what you're doing with lowercase e, but do it. We need to get this thing learned because most people are having some trouble with this one. Hit the ball, make that ball go out, and run the bases. That's what we do with lowercase e. We hit the ball and run those bases. And when we run the bases, we make sure we touch every single base so that it counts. Grab your handwriting books, and we're going to practice that in handwriting now. All right, so this is from the kindergarten page, guys. It's page 45, so you can pause the video if you need to find it. First and second graders, just keep the video going and watch with me. I want you guys to, if you don't open your books yet if you're not in kindergarten. You guys who are not in kindergarten, first and second grade, I want you to be taking your writing finger and practicing this on the desk in front of you. You can draw it on your leg, but practice it some. Do you see right here? Here's the batter ready to go, right? And now hit the ball. And what you have to pretend is that you have some bases you have to get to. There's a base right up here at the top line. There's a base right back here where you started. And then there's another base down here. So hit the ball. Now you have to run the bases and touch every base. And then go a little farther and do a little dance, I guess. One more time, let's practice that. Hit the ball, and again, if you're in first and second grade, do this on the table, do it on your leg, do it somewhere, because this is really important. Practice going up. Touch that top line, touch the back line, come down, touch the bottom line, and give a little extra curve. One more time. Hit the ball, run the bases, touch each one. Top line, back of the E, bottom line. Now, I'll tell you, this can be a little tricky. When you look at grown-up writing, they miss a lot. That's all right. Big line down, frog jump, little line, little line, little line. Now, first and second graders, if you want to find your page, first graders, you have page 34. Second graders, you guys might have already looked in the table of contents. Whoops, this one is upside down. There we go. You guys have 23. You can start on this, but I want you, I'm going to do the kindergarten page, and I want you guys thinking about hitting that ball and running the bases. And kindergartners, I hate the picture they gave you. E is for eel. Do you hear it saying its name using its superhero power right there? And right now we're studying the short sound of E. I wish they had put an egg there, or an elf, or something, but they didn't. All right, here we are. Start at the dot. Hit the ball. Run the bases, touch each base. All right, kindergartners, now here is the first one you got to do completely on your own. Do you see how it's kind of in between these two lines? Put your pencil on the dot. Hit the ball. Hit it out a little ways. Now, it's kind of like a C that we make. We make sure it hits all the bases, though. Touch the top line, touch the back line, touch the bottom line. First and second graders, I want you thinking about this as you do this. And boys and girls, look at E. It is not an up letter. It is not a down letter. It is an in-between letter. So I hope you're doing it with a pencil. I'm just using this marker so that it shows up better for you on camera. If your E's are going above the top line or below the bottom line, go ahead and erase them. Do them again, because we do this to get lots of practice doing it correctly. So hit the ball, run the bases, top, back, bottom. It can be tricky to get them all. Do your best. Feel free to erase and try again. If you don't have an eraser, let me show you what to do. Here I am. Hit the ball, run the top, back, bottom bases. All right, if you don't have an eraser, watch. See, suppose you did this. That's not right, is it? If you don't have an eraser, just do it again on top of it. Hit the ball, run the bases. And of course, kindergartners, you know, there's one more down here at the end. Do you see how it didn't quite touch the top for me? This one doesn't give you a starting dot, does it? You just kind of have to guess. It's about here. It's right about the middle. It's just up above the middle a little bit. And if you don't do it right and you don't have an eraser, or if you're using a pen or a marker like me and you can't erase, just do it again on top. All right, kindergartners, your other one to do is the capital E page. It's page 9. It's back toward the beginning of your book, right underneath the F that you already did. First graders, second graders, you guys might be just about done by now, but Stick with me for a minute. First graders, I'm going to read through the words you're going to do, just like with K. Trace them, write them, trace them, write them. So let's read them together first. Eat, seed, seat. Do you hear these all use the long superhero sound where it says its name? Eat, seed, seat. Et, here uses its regular sound. And then here, give, this is one of the words where E has an extra special superpower. And when it uses its extra special superpower, it's silent, which is what you see here in give. All right, and first graders, you've added eed, I think, right? Need, seed, bleed. We've added et, get, set, yet. Here we have a consonant blend at the end. Est, best, guest, rest. And here we add ed, red, bed, and this would be ed. Do you see how there's a capital T here? That's because Ted is a name, and names always have capitals. Make sure you did the... All right, kindergartners, you should have a paper-clipped bundle with all these papers, and we've been kind of working from the back of it. We're going to go down from the front today of this. Now, I know you had all that hit the ball, run the bases, handwriting stuff, so now we're going to switch to thinking about sounds for a little bit. First of all, trace it, right? Big line down, frog jump, little curve to middle, little line slides down, and then lowercase, right? Go right down that trail of bubbles, bump the bottom line up and over. Same thing here. And then here we want to make sure that we are also making one of our own. And then as well up here, there's not a spot for a name, is there? Just go ahead and add your name in. All right, pause the video if you need to catch up with me. We're going to look for things that have the sound of rooster. And then we're going to write lowercase r if it has it. So rabbit does. Oh, leaf. Now, if you know the other sounds, like L for leaf, you may put it. Ring, not lion. This is a toy a baby might play with, a rattle. Rattle. Slippers, no. Oh, log, that's an L, isn't it? Oh, lock, also an L. Oh, lemon, another L. Here we're talking about the top of this building, roof. This is lettuce, and this guy is rat. Here, this that gives some light is lamp. And this mat on the floor to keep your feet warm, rug, rake. And here we have lamb. All right, next page is the L that we were just kind of looking at. Big line down, little line across bottom, lowercase just comes down. Big line down, little line across bottom, lowercase just comes down. Make some more of your own. Put your name up at the top. Pause the video if you need to catch up with me. And we're looking for the sound of lion. So lamb and lips, not balloon. Go ahead and practice that though. Dive down. Now we don't curl, do we? We swim straight back up this trail of bubbles and make a circle. Foot. If you want to practice, right? F, we start and we go up. Curve around, cross. Lamp. Horse. We did some of this yesterday. Letter. This is a comb. If you want to, you can put a C for that. Don't put a K. It's not a K word, even though it sounds like it. We'll talk about that later. You can skip that one. Goose. We haven't talked about how to make that. Skip it. Lemon. Ladder. Pig. Now, if we do lowercase p, we don't start up high, do we? We start in the middle. We go down and we actually go through the line, swim back up the trail of bubbles, and circle around. Leaf. Turkey we haven't studied, but if you'd like to put a T, we did it for the a little bit, didn't we? This is a map, so we could go right down here, bump the line, back up, curve around, back up, curve around. And this is a lighthouse. It warns the ships that there are rocks and they should stay away. All right, we're going to do 2 more today. Here we have N again. Big line down, frog jump. Big line slides down, make sure that slides over, and then straight up. Here a diver, let her go down, bump, up and around, trace them, make sure this line goes straight up here at the end. Make sure here we start at the middle, down, bump the line, swim up the trail of bubbles and around, and then be sure also to make your own. So write your name, pause if you need to catch up with me. We're going to be looking for this sound of N, like nest. So like nurse, do you see it's the old-fashioned nurse like yesterday? These are numbers. This is a pipe. Remember, swim back up that trail of bubbles and circle around. This is the hose. Start up high, up, curve over. Needle, we saw this yesterday. This is a television. You can just put a T if you want to. Nail. Guitar, don't write anything there because we haven't studied G yet. We don't want to learn bad habits. But here's a boat. We can dive down, 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 swim back up, curl around. Nose. Hammer. Pause the video if I've gotten ahead of you and catch up. Nuts. Can you see how H and N are very similar? But the stick on the H starts up a lot higher. That's one reason we have to pay attention to the sizes. Make sure that that N starts down low and the hammer, the H, starts up high. 9, naughty number 9. This is a carrot. Don't write anything there because we need to study that one. Frog, you can start here. Go up, curve around, then cross, and a net. All right, this will be our 4th one here. And on this one, go ahead, put your name. We're going to be drawing these Ks a little bit differently because you can see here, they're having it go kind of like this and then here rather than starting right here at the stick. So we're not going to quite do it that way. You can kind of trace it still, but we're going to go in and just like that, kind of with the R, how we were writing our own thing. So if you want to skip the tracing and just make extras of your own, that also might be easier. Big line down, jump to the side, slide into the middle, slide out. Then for lowercase, down, and jump to the side again, but just right here to the middle. Slide in, slide out. Go ahead and make a couple more of those. There we are. Now, the funny thing in English is that we have more than one letter that can make the sound of K. We haven't studied that too much yet. We're going to start next week or the week after, depending on how quickly we can go. So because of that here, some of these we just might skip. We have king, of course. Match. Here's a kettle. Do you remember when we looked at the little tea kettle in the classroom? A map. Kite. Now, we just had one of these that was lips, and with lips, did you see they put them right together? So this one I think is actually supposed to be mouth. Kitten. Make sure you're making lowercase k's on this page. See the example that they gave us? So that means this sliding part doesn't start up here, it starts down here. Mittens. Moon. Again, pause the video to catch up if you need to. Mouse. Here, you guys might know, this is how they write directions for music. Kangaroo, just like up at the top of the paper. This is a motor, like you might have a motor in a car or in a lawnmower. Here's a key, like for the front door. Now we had one match up here, but this is a whole book of matches, a whole set of them. Now this funny thing you don't see very much anymore. When I was little, I grew up in Michigan where it was really cold and I had these for church. This would have a string on it like this. It looks like a roll of toilet paper in that picture, doesn't it? And you'd actually wear this string around your neck. And then this part would hang down in front of you, and it's furry and fluffy inside. And so you could put your hands inside of it to keep them warm when it was really cold outside. Sometimes you see football players now kind of having something like that around their waists. This is called a muff. All right, kindergartners, that is all for today.